Good morning, fellow app makers. Behzad is here again from Code Simplifier. Welcome back to another video of how to developing a tip calculation application using Kotlin languages. In our previous video, we added some material design to our application. In a very simple words, material design means a more modified or more advanced user interface or whatever the user will see from your application. If you haven't seen that video, I will leave the link to the description of this video. You can go and check it out and then come back to continue watching this video. We applied changes to our cost of service. We applied our user or material design to this section of our application. And before we going ahead to continue of our videos, we have to apply or using the material design one more time for our switch. As you here, you can see in your application, the switch section of your application has been highlighted. That means the Android Studio will recommend you to using material design for the switch as well. So we are going to do that in a second. Applying the changes for our switch material design is super simple. All you have to do is just come above your switch, give some space to yourself. All you have to just type switch material design or switch material or switch material, the toppest one, come Google Android material. Just enter that one and 0 dp for the width and wrap content for the height, forward slash, and you will get an error here, which that is completely fine. All you have to do, just come into your switch, which the old tag you used, copy or cut all of the constraint start, margin top, and constraint top, bottom, and text, cut them from your switch and enter them in your material design. So the error is gone. All you had to do just adjust those variables. So here you see the application is just juggled around because we didn't cut off our ID. One more thing we have to do, just cut off the ID from your switch and put it in your switch material. So now everything's sorted. So from now on, we don't need the switch. All you have to do is just select the tag and delete it. So the problem is solved. So we applied our material design for our switch as well. As you see here, our application is pretty much raw. So that means it doesn't have any icon, and that is a thing we are going to do today. So we are going to add icon for our cost of service. We are going to add for the question of how was the service, and we are going to add an icon for our switch, which will round up the service cost. If you are watching from our previous video, so I remember when we ran our application, so the theme we used was yellow, and that was pretty much we couldn't see what was going on. So before we're doing our work, we are going to change the theme color to something else. So doing that is super easy. All you have to do is just go to project folder on top left corner, click on your project, expand your res folder, go to values and go to your colors. All you have to do is just double click. Either you can just give a code here to change the color a yellow, or double click on that little square shape. So we are just going to put it as a green, so dark green will fine, and we have to change the name. So select the name, hold on Shift F6 on your keyboard, and that will refactor whole variables that use that content. So we are just changing the yellow to green light, and as you do remember, you have to make sure the letters you are using the all in lower cases. So you're not allowed to using upper cases, otherwise you will have a runtime error. So just refactor and everything is fine. So we are going to see if that changes has applied or not yet. All you have to do just is stop and click on the play button. So we'll see the new color has been applied to our theme. Okay, that's done. So we are change our theme color from yellow to green, and as you see now, we can see the text and contents of our application way better than before. So let's move on now and add our icons to our application. So now we changed our colors for the theme. We don't need that folder, just delete it. We don't need our main activity, so we have to just close it. So we are going to add icons. So we have two options to add icon to our application. Either we can use external files like an image which you have on your computer, or you can use the internal images, so known as vector images, inside Android Studio resources, and you can use them. And today we are going to use the inside information or inside resources from Android Studio. Doing that so is super easy. So all you have to do, just go to rest folder, expand the folder in a drawable, because drawable is where it keeps all the imaginary or visual icons of your application. So that is where we are going to add our icon. So right click, come on new, and you just come down until you see the vector asset. So click on vector asset. So here the clip art means we are going to use the inside materials or inside resources of Android Studio, and local file is the format of those files has to be SVG or PSD, and that is where you are going to look and search for the information or icon that you are going to import from your own computer. So today we are just going to clip art. So the name of this clip art or this vector asset is here. Here we can change it, and here is the size of the icon, and here is where you're putting a color on it, and capacity is 100%. That means it will be cropped to the size of the image that is required. So just click on a clip art, and you will have an icon here, which it gives you a variety of icons and with different shapes and different purposes. And because we don't have time to just go through every single of them, all we have to do, just you can search here. So we are going to search for call and call mate here. This is the thing we are going to use. One click and click on OK, and here we rename it to round up. So the IC underscore round underscore up. So again, remember, the font has to be in lower cases. So the size is okay. Click on next and click on finish. So if you expand your drawable directory, you see an icon of round up here. Here is a code, so we don't worry about the code to change anything. And here is the shape that you are going to see. So close it, and we need to add 2 more for our service and the cost of service. To apply those changes, we have to repeat this last step 2 more times. Just go on drawable, right click, new, and come down to your vector asset. And here just click on your clip art. So it will open up the window for you. And we are just putting on room service. So here is the thing. Here's the icon that we are going to use for the satisfaction of the service. Just one click, click OK, and we are changing it to service IC underscore service. Click next and click finish. So we'll repeat one more time. Right click, new, vector asset, click, and here come to search area and search for store. And here's the store that we are going to use, and we change it to IC underscore store. Click next and finish. So all we've done, we imported or we identified what icons that we are going to use from Android's resources. The next step we have to take is we have to identify where we are going to use and where we are going to put those icons in our application. Before moving on, we applied those changes to our application. I noticed I missed one step, and that step is because vector assets are using from Android devices version 5.0 upwards, so the newer versions, and that means that Android below 5.0 are not supporting the vector asset, and we have to manually tell the machine if this application is going to be installed on one of those devices. We have to make sure the Android is going to support that step as well. So that is the thing we have to do before we're going ahead, and to doing that, so it's super easy. All you have to do is just following these steps. To doing that, so just come to your Gradual Scripts folder, expand your folder, the second directory from top, so is module name of your application, double click, and it will open up where we are adding our dependencies. So come up, you will see an Android block code. So below that you see default configuration. So inside that default configuration blocks, all you have to do is just identify these codes that will tell the Android Studio to support for Android devices below 5.0 versions. So just write down vector drawables dot use support library equals to true, and semicolon is optional, so you don't have to do it. So now we applied some of the changes in our build gradual, so that means we have to sync our project. Once we apply those changes, we don't need our build gradual application, so we have to close it. So now it's time to apply or to bring those icons we imported into our application. So I am in my activity main layout, so is where we set up our application. All you have to do, just let me minimize here. Just come above your text input layout, so where is where the place the user inputs or enters the cost of service. So to using our icons, we have to use a tag called image view. So the image view will hold the image inside it, and you can just adjust it based on the requirements of your application. So open up a tag, write down an image view. To come inside your image view, we need to add an ID to it, and the ID will be a new ID, icon cost of service. The width will be wrap content, and the height will be wrap content. And just follow this step, then I'll explain everything to you, so that will make sense eventually. So you have to just important for accessibility, put it as no. So the main error we have here for our src comeback is I did a typo error. So it's combat, is not compact. So all you have to do is just delete the C, and that is where the error is gone. So still we have one more error here because we haven't set up the constraint layout compared to the parents. And to just make sure that everything is work fine, so on the left hand side of the window you will just see a small icon of your icon that you're going to use for this image view. So come here, just put down on the start of the parent, the constraint start to start off the parent. So that means the start of this icon is going to be start of the edge of your screen, and that is how it works. Then we have to the constraint top of the constraint, so constraint top to top of. That is where we have to put it in on cost of service, and do same thing for the bottom, the constraint bottom to the bottom of, again cost of service. So what happened here, so we assigned the start of the icon, which is left hand side. It will be compared to the left hand side of our screen. Then we said the top of this icon is going to be on top of here, and the bottom of it is going to bottom of the here. So that it simply means the Android Studio will scratch your icon to fit to the size of your cost of service. So now we're adding some more changes to our icon, so then you can see the icons and the cost of service next to it. At this stage we can't see our icon because the cost of service text input layout is overlapping to our icon, and because since we start off our text input from the parent, that's why it will cover the icon. All we have to do, just come inside your text input layout, put a margin here, margin start to 16 dp, and you see here it shifted, and all you have to do, the constraint to start, it will be icon cost of service, and that is shifted. So what we've done here, we said the start of the cost of service is going to be the cost of our icon, and we are going to have a margin of 16 dp to it. So just to reference it, we have to shift it a little bit more. So just move it to 30. Yep, and here is our icon of cost of service has appeared. So we are going to apply those changes for our service and for our roundup switch, so then we can see the icons in our application. So we applied those changes, and we are going to repeat exactly the same steps for our icon and how was the service question and our switch. So come above your text view is where you are going to asking the customers how was the service. Come above one top, and we are going to add an image view. Will be wrap content / we'll close our image view. So you will get an error, so that is absolutely fine. Give an ID to it, so will be icon service question. Then important for accessibility, again it's no, because it's just going to represent what it's going to do and what the user will understand what is the question is about. So then will be src combat. I'll just put app src combat equals to double quote at drawable IC service. So that we added. So now come down again, we are going to be start point of this icon is going to be parent, then top of the icon is going to be cost service question, bottom of it is going to be service question again. So we'll fix it here. So come to inside your text view is where you're asking that question. So we have to put the start to be icon service question. So the start of the question will be going to start off here, and as you can remember, we have to give the margin start of 30 dp, if that is not too much. Yeah, that's worked perfect. And this margin top will be 25 dp, so that's fine. So now come down inside your above your switch materials, and we're doing exactly the same step. Image view wrap content / so the image view ID is going to be round icon round tip, and it's going to accessibility important. For accessibility will be no, then will be app src compat equals to at get it from drawable round up, and here will be start off will be parent. So don't worry if I do it too quick, and I will go back again and explain them what every step does and how you can understand what you are doing. So it will be top of the stop will be round up switch, the bottom will be round up switch, and that's it. So basically I used an image view to have an access to that icon I used. I gave an ID to it, the width and height of wrap content. Important for accessibility, that means it is just an icon, and we are not going to use it for anything else. So we are assigned it to a drawable because this icon is inside our drawable directory, and that is where we are going to have an access to it. So then here we start off the icon. So where the icon is going to start, it will be from the edge of your parent or edge of your screen. Then we say the top of the icon is this icon is going to be on top of the tip question or a switch question, and the bottom of it will be the bottom of the switch question. So, and the reason we are using the top and bottom is because we are going to stretch our icon so it will fit size of our variable or our image view or our the question. So that's why we are using the top and bottom. So we are coming inside our switch materials, and we have to change the start of the parent will be round up icon, and it will give a margin start of 30 dp. And that's it. So we added 3 icons to our 3 questions. Now it's time to run our application to see actually it works. So all you have to do, just come above here, stop the current application, and start it again. So wait for it, it runs, and then we will see how the application is look like by adding our icons to it. As you see, our application is ready and our icons apply to our application. That means our application has become more user friendly, and the user understands what is going on and what every icon or every section is going to do. We came to an end of this video. So before we end off the video, we are going to recap what we have done. So basically we imported some of the icons from Android Studio resources and we use it in our application. So Android Studio lets you to have your own icons, so which we have to make sure you are using exactly the same accepted format, or you can use the internal resources which we imported from Android Studio and use them in our application. So every icons or any imaginary or any visual icons that is going to be inserted in drawable resources, which you can see here. Then we use an image view tag to have an access to those drawables icons or those icons, and then we apply that to our application. So for every section that you are going to use image views, you have to, it's just a recommended way to just make sure using the icons above the tag that you are going to use. For example, I use my image view here above on my switch materials, or I use another image view which it shows the icon of the service above the question which we ask in the service. So it is recommended because later on, if you're going to apply some changes, it will be easier for you to come back and do it. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if any section of this video doesn't make sense or doesn't ring the bell to you, please make sure you write it down in a comment below and I will explain it to you as quick as I can. So if you are new to this channel and you like the video, please make sure you're doing a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you do subscribe and put a notification on, and you won't miss any upcoming videos for the future. Thanks for your time and watching. Have a great day.